So tonight we're doing part two of our storytelling. And so this is what I've been calling the origin story, right? So your origin story is the story that you tell people about how you got started, why you do what you do, why you started this platform, why you started this business, why people should care about what you do. Your origin story is that thing that gets people familiar with you, acquainted with you. And it's the thing that most brands, most creators miss when it comes to creating or building their platforms is that they don't tell people their origin story. Like they don't tell people why they got started. And the thing that's so great about your origin story is that your origin story is going to be the thing that really helps people to connect to you. So have you ever seen like Project Runway or any of those like competition shows? Y'all know what I'm talking about? And in those shows, they usually give you a backstory, right? Like they usually tell you like where the person came from. Even what's the voice, you hear the backstory about the people that go up, about the contestants. You hear why they got started. You hear how they became a singer. Like you get familiar with the person, right? That's their origin story. And as you listen to their origin story, as you listen to these things about their life, you start to find things about them that you can connect to. And that's usually how you start to feel connected to certain contestants over other ones. Like, how many times have you seen a contestant? Hey, Matt, how many times have you seen a contestant and they were from the same city as you? And you was like, oh, bet. Like, y'all, we from the same city, you got to represent. Or if you are somebody like for me, like a lot of times when I see Black women on shows, I'm automatically drawn to them because we already got something in common, right? When we are or mothers, parents, those are the things that when you hear their story, when you hear where they started and how they got here, it makes you want to support them because now you see who they are. You get to learn more about them. You feel connected to them. And so this is the kind of thing that a lot of creators, a lot of brands are missing when it comes to their platforms. And it's the very thing that when you learn your origin story and when you learn how to share it, it is going to draw people to you. It's the thing that's going to attract people to you. So we're working through that today. We are working on part two. So if you missed part one is up on my YouTube channel. So if you subscribe to my newsletter, then you'll get the notifications when they come out so that you won't miss them. Or you can go to my YouTube channel and you can subscribe and then you'll get to watch the videos. So that one's up already. So we not going to rehash all of that stuff because it was a lot. It was a lot. But we are on the next phase of this. And so if y'all are ready, let me know. Put the dancing girl emoji in the comment section if y'all are ready. Y'all know which one I'm talking about? All right. So, the next phase in our storytelling, all right, in our origin story is the guide. Okay. So, the guide is that person that really stuck out to you and who helped you come to this understanding of where you are now in your life, right? So, the guide can be a mentor, it can be a coach, it can be a parent, it can be a friend, but it's someone who, like, really brought this revelation to you. They brought it out of you. So I have a mentor named Latara, and we found each other in 2020. And that whole year, I had been praying for a mentor, y'all. Like, I mean, praying for a mentor because I had got to a point in business where I was ready to give up. Like, I was ready to call it quits. I was like, it's not working. I'm no good at this. I'm not making money. I'm ready to hang it up. Like, just being real, y'all. I was ready to stop. And I was really doubting myself. And so my mentor came at a very pivotal part of my entrepreneur journey. Okay. And so this is not that time, but this is us after a year or so of working together. We had a conversation, we had a session, and she was telling me, she was like, Jada, You know that what you're doing right now, because at the time I was doing styling, she was like, "Jada, you know that what you're doing right now as a stylist is not all that you're supposed to do." She was like, "You're supposed to do something with content." She was like, "You're supposed to do more than just this." And so when she said that, she was like, "I feel like there's like a name for what you do." And she was like, "It's a brand something, brand something." And we sat with it for a little bit. And then I texted her a little bit later and I was like, "Outfitter?" And she was like, "Yes." And so that's how the name Brand Outfitter came to be. Like that's how what I do now was it how it started. That was like the revelation that we had. And so she was a very like critical person in this journey of me becoming a brand outfitter and doing branding because it was that moment where it clicked for me that, oh, this is how I bring together style and fashion and content creation and tech and business. This is how all of this stuff that I have been doing for my entire life, this is how it all comes together and makes sense. This is like the common thread. And so that was the moment where that was really presented to me. And so if you look back on your life, there is someone, there's somebody, there's some moment, and even if it's not somebody that you know personally, there is someone who was a guide for you. So, who was that guide? Who was that person that really brought to your attention what you should be doing right now? Where you are right now? Who was that person that spoke life into you or who course corrected you or who like had to get you together real fast and be like, "Hold up, this is where you're supposed to be." Who is that guide for you? All right. That is a very, that's the next step. That's number 7 in our origin story building. All right. That's what I'm trying to piece together right now: self love, inner child, healing, and health. Yes. And so, even if you are in a place where you are not completely in, you're not completely sure what you're going to be doing, you're not completely sure where you're going to be, this is use wherever you are right now, this space that you're in right now, who is the person who even helped bring this to your attention? Who's the person that helped bring this to light? Do you have somebody who came into your life and brought to your attention what you're doing now? Do y'all have that person? Let me know. I want to make sure that you have an idea before we move on to the next one. You got it, Jada. I love the fact that I'm in your origin story. That makes me feel so good. I think that should be like a mission for me, is that I want to be in more people's origin story. Like I want to be a part of that. And this origin story, like I told y'all, this is the thing that's going to help you to make better content. It's going to be the thing that helps you to connect to your audience. It's going to be the thing that people need to hear from you so that when they hear you speak, they know that you are their person. Yeah. So my breakthrough moment happened with my very first client, my very first branding client. Okay. My branding client, her name is Nakia. And some of y'all have probably heard me talk about Nakia because Nakia, she took what I gave her and she ran with it. And she built an entire business. So I was working with Nakia and she was my trainer. She started off as my personal trainer. And so we were working together for about a year. And as we were working together, thank you. As we were working together, I started to, we had this one session. So there was this, and this was one of our final sessions together. We were working out and I could not stop like imagining, I couldn't stop envisioning her teaching dance. I was like, it's like as I was watching, as we were working out, we over here doing burpees and lunges and all kinds of stuff. But in my mind, I just see like her teaching dance. And I was able to see like the kinds of content that she could make. I was able to see how she could make it a virtual thing and an in-person thing and do like a hybrid situation. And the reason why this all was coming to my mind is because she was doing dance coaching. So she's a majorette dance coach. And so she would always tell me about the girls. She would always tell me about how the routines went, and I would check in with her and see how it was going. And she had been dancing all of her life. And so I asked her during that session, I was like, why isn't it that you haven't brought together dance and fitness? I was like, "What like, why hasn't that ever been something that you, like, decided to do?" And so when I said that, she was like, "I never really thought about it, like, it always felt like 2 separate things." And so I was like, "I feel like there's a way that we can bring them together. And if you're interested, I would love to have a session with you, and I can break down, like, this whole strategy that I feel like is just in my head." I was like, "I feel like I have a whole business for you, and I just wanna know if you're interested." And so we sat down, and I kid you not, we probably had a 90-minute session, right? And so we sat down for 90 minutes. And so I broke down like how the business could run. I told her what it would look like to market. I told her the types of TikTok videos that she should make. And I was telling her, I was like, if you want to do this, you got to really be on your Zoom. I was like, you got to be, you got to show up and make the content that I tell you to make. And so I was like, I can't guarantee what the results are going to look like, but what I do know is that I see something with this. And one of the things that really took her over the top is that I see you like starting your own dance trends. And so on TikTok, y'all already know the dance trends is a thing here, right? Like it's just a part of the culture. And so I was like, what if you used your majorette routines what if you used your majorette routines and turned those into dance trends and taught them on TikTok? And then you use that as marketing. So as people learn your dances, they can make videos and then that will serve to promote your business, right? So every week for 20 weeks, she did a new dance routine every week. And not only did she do that, but she was making content she was posting every single day, right? She's posting content. And so as she hey Stephanie, as she started to post this content and really put herself out there, her TikTok, she had around 160 followers. In 2 weeks, she got to 1,000 and she had been on TikTok for 2 years. She had been on TikTok for 2 years. There is a text message that I'm gonna post it and make a video about it, but I was, like, looking at her page and how she was doing, and I was like, "So, you're gonna break 1,000." I was like, "Before this day is over," I was like, "In the next 24 hours, you're gonna break 1K." And so, when that happened, I was like, "Oh my goodness. We did this. Like, we built it up to this point, and that was just the beginning of it, y'all." And so that was where it started. All right. So let me make sure I don't get ahead of myself. But that was like that breakthrough moment for me. That was the moment where I was like, I just helped somebody. I just helped somebody. And it was affirming for me because up until this point, I was scared that I couldn't do that for anybody but myself. Cause people would ask me all the time, did anybody help you build your platform? Or how did you get to the number that you got on TikTok? Like people would always ask me that. And I would be like, no, I did it myself. Like I was like, I just made the content myself. And I never saw the value in that because it was just something that came naturally to me. But I was afraid that if I decided to pursue this as a business, as a career, that I wouldn't be able to help other people. And like, how many people have felt like that? Like, I can do it for myself, but I don't know if I can do it for anybody else. Let me know that I'm not by myself with this because that was even after seeing the results and seeing that she did it, I was still afraid to own the fact that I helped her, which is wild because you literally saw like where she started. I was like, all right, I can do it myself, but I don't really think that this is something that I can help other people do. And so that was like the breakthrough moment for me where I saw that not only was I able to build my own platform and my own brand, but I was able to help somebody else build theirs. And I'm gonna share her page. I share her all the time because I'm just so proud of her. But she has grown like leaps and bounds beyond what I could have imagined when we first started working together. But that was the start. My very first client as a brand outfitter. So the next thing that we have is it's the new opportunity. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for it? This one is called New Opportunity. Okay. So this is basically like the time where you were able to try something new, right? Like you were given an opportunity to really work out this new breakthrough that you're going through. And at the time, I was calling it content styling because I was like trying to keep it in line with styling and fashion because it was like I was like trying to make it make sense. But it was fine because the idea is still the same. I was really helping people to create branded content that really resonated with who they were. I wanted it to be authentic. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be creative. And I wanted people to feel confident and exploring different things and trying new things. And most importantly, I wanted to help people to create content that didn't depend on trends. That was really big for me. Like I didn't want people to just rely on trends. I wanted people to establish and set their own trends. Hence why I call y'all trendsetters now. But that was like that's what I was doing. So I was taking one-on-one clients, and at this time I had this is like the most like one-on-one client work I had ever done in my life. Like I was coming out of doing retail and selling products. And so the idea of working with someone one-on-one as a service, even outside of styling, because I was actually doing both at the same time. So I was taking on styling and I was also doing branding. But this was like the year where I had the most clients I had ever had in my entire life. And so as I'm working with these people one on one, I'm starting to see how all of this stuff like really flows. I'm like, hold up, I'm good at this. I was like, wait a minute. I feel like this feels good. This flows. This feels so easy. And it was like so easy that it scared me. Cause I was like, shouldn't this be harder? Shouldn't this be more work? But I was sitting here having conversations with people, and in those conversations, I was helping them. And so I was starting to see how this was like my thing. Exactly, Dr. Callie. This is my gift. I'm operating in my gift. And so this was that space for me. Like I'm getting something new, something fresh. I'm trying something different. And I'm just seeing how it fits on me. I'm figuring out how it looks. Like, does it look good? Do I feel good in it? Hey, Kareem. Good evening. So that was that new opportunity for me. And so for you, what is that new opportunity? What is it that you started doing after you had your breakthrough? What was that new thing, that new space that you were in? I think that I'm going to call this section acting brand new. Okay. You're excited for our meeting tomorrow? I'm excited too. I got some good stuff for you. So that section is called acting brand new. Bam. So acting, I put new in front of brand, acting brand new. So what are you doing? How are you acting brand new? Or how did you start acting brand new? What was you doing that was different and outside the norm once you had your breakthrough moment? Okay. So that is number 9. How are y'all feeling so far? Is this giving y'all some ideas? Can y'all think about how y'all started acting brand new once you had your breakthrough? That felt like bars. Okay, showing up because you was definitely acting brand new on your live today. I was like, oh, this that energy I had to sit down and listen. I was like, I like her. I'm feeling her authority, consistency. Yes. I'm feeling her. Okay, y'all. All right. I'm guessing that we all can see how we started acting brand new. You was definitely giving Cardacia. It was Cardacia in full force, in full effect. Okay. Y'all ready for the next one? Y'all ready for the next one? I got to think about some new dances. Y'all ready for the next one? Number 10, number 10, number 10, number 10, number 10. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Oh, okay, I see you cartwheel. I'm feeling that one. That's an acceptable one. Another acceptable emoji is also a disco ball, okay? Just so y'all know, that's another acceptable emoji. When y'all are ready for the next point, you can drop a disco ball in the chat. Okay. So, number 10 is the strategy, okay? How did you do it? How did you do what you do? How did you learn what it is that you are doing now? Okay? Yes. Yes. Yes, those are the points that we've had so far. We got the guide, epiphany, new opportunity, and I'm over here remixing the names, but that's all right. That's all right. Same concept. Okay. All right. So, what did you do? What was the strategy? Okay. So, for me, this one is the strategy that I developed, and it's getting unshy. Okay? So this is the framework, the strategy for getting unshy. All right? So again, this is coming from a perspective of I'm talking about my framework, my system, my thing, getting unshy. And so this is a part of my origin story because it really is like my life story. My life story is really getting unshy and being the person that I was always meant to be when I'm not using being shy as an excuse. Okay. So this is just to give you like a perspective of where my origin story comes from and like what lens I'm looking at it from. Getting unshy is a process that takes you from being stuck and burnt out, especially as a creative, and how to be confident and clear on what you want and how you want to show up. And so the content that we create is creative, is strategic, and is something that you can monetize. And that is, I don't even want to get on a tangent on that one, y'all, but that is that's the strategy, right? That's what I would be offering people. The strategy is bigger than just monetizing. Okay. Let me put it that way. So I was doing some reading today, and I was looking at the reasons why people are shy, and I was looking at the amount of people in the US, the percentage of people that are shy. And I was just looking at some of the numbers and just reading some of the things. And I was reading up on being shy, and I was reading up on imposter syndrome, which I don't like saying that people have imposter syndrome just because it's not a syndrome, but that is another problem for another day. But I was looking at overall the strategy that I've gone through in my life to get unshy. And so this, I'm hoping that as I share this, that this is going to help you to think about something beyond just a business. Okay. But like, how have you lived your life? How have you faced challenges and overcome challenges in your life? And remember, when we talked about the villain, right? Y'all remember the villain? And so there is a villain in your life that that goes beyond just your business. Okay? And so for me, being shy is one of those things that has impacted every aspect of my life. It's impacted relationships, it's impacted business, it's impacted my career in school, like it has impacted it touches different things. And so even if I'm not doing something that's related to business, there are certain things that I do that are a part of like my everyday that help me to get unshy on a consistent basis, right? So, one of those things that I did recently is that I went to a gun range. Ugh, I went to a gun range, and if you know anything about me, I growing up, I was like really against guns, y'all. Like I did not like them. I was not a fan. I just felt like they all they did was hurt people, and that people who have them hurt people. And so I just didn't want to be associated with them or affiliated with them. And so it wasn't until, and I want to say maybe like the past 4 or 5 years, where I've opened up to the idea of getting more education on them and how to use them. But even as I was opening up my mind to the possibility of it, I had still never held one before or used one before. And so the rubber met the road. when I went to the range, and I tried out 2 different ones, and when I got there, I was so scared, y'all. I was, like, afraid. I was so nervous. I was like, "What if I, like, do something and a bullet goes the wrong way? Or what if I don't use it the right way, or I'm not using it safely?" Like, I was so scared because I'm sitting here looking around in this shop and looking at all of these things that I've seen on TV and in movies where people have been hurt, like people have been taken out. And so it was a really challenging moment for me. But after I was done, after we finished, I felt like really proud of myself. Like I was so confident and I felt good not only because I did something that scared me, but because I was pretty good at it, y'all. I mean, I really want to let people know, don't mess with me because I got aim. I got aim. And so it made me feel even more confident. Not only that because I did something that scared me, but because I'm good at it. And I wouldn't have known that I was any good if I hadn't tried. And so even for me, like that experience is a part of getting unshy. That's still a part of it for me, and that has nothing to do with business. Like, that's just my personal life, but it's a strategy that I have. It's a way of living that I'm adopting where I don't allow the things that scare me to stop me. I don't allow being shy or being afraid to stop me. So if you're listening to me and you're like, "I don't have a program or a framework or a product," you think about the things that you adopted, the things that you've changed in your life that have helped you to overcome your villain. Okay. So that's a better way of thinking about it. That's a better way to frame it. So let me know if that helps y'all. Does that help you like think about it in a way where you can apply it now? Like you can think about where you are now and what you've overcome and what strategy or method that you have used to help you overcome that. There are things that you have done in your life. Every one of us, there's things that we have done that have been able to where we've really been able to show ourselves what we're made of. That's the best way to put it. So, what y'all think so far? If y'all are ready for the next one, give me the dancing girl emoji, give me your cartwheels, give me your disco ball. Let me know that y'all are ready for the next one. And we are going to move on. Keep forgetting I got to do my dance move. It's a sad day when you resort to the robot, y'all. It's a really sad day. Real sad day. But we're here. We're here. And I'm gonna do it shamelessly. That's another thing, y'all. I usually do not like to dance in front of people. I usually don't like to dance in front of people because I don't want to be judged. But we're here. We're still getting unshy. Every day we getting unshyer. All right. The next stage, the next step, and just to let y'all know, we have 4 more. I think that we can get through them. I think that we can get through them if I don't go on too many tangents. But the next one is the results. Okay. So after you have worked through this strategy, what are the results from you working through this strategy, either for yourself or for others? Okay. And so this is the part where actually, no, I'm sorry, y'all. I got ahead of myself. I got ahead of myself. So there's 2 parts to this. Let's say it that way. So it's going to be your results and there's going to be the results of other people. All right. So I'm going to share mine and then I'm going to let you know how you can apply this, even if you are not someone who has worked with clients or has sold products. This is still relevant to you. Okay. So for me, the results that I had for myself when I started getting unshy is that I was able to create content more consistently because what I realized is that the reason why it was difficult for me to create content was for multiple reasons. One is that your girl ain't had no kind of system in place, no method. The follow through was weak. It was weak. I can admit that. But I also was like so super duper critical of my content. Like everything that I put out there, I was like, no, that's terrible. I don't like that. Let me take that down. That's not going to work. I can't use that. So and so did this better than me. The lighting looks bad. Like I was very critical of my work. Super duper perfectionist. And so me learning to not be shy helped me to not feel so it helped me to be okay with everything not being great. Did I give it my best? That's all we can ask for. And sometimes it wasn't even my best, but is it done? Is it done? That's what matters. And so like reshaping my priorities to I want to be committed more than I want to be perfect. Yeah. In the real time, Chelsea. Girl, yes, it does wonders. It does wonders for your confidence when you are consistent with something. When you can show yourself that you can commit to things, that is like that's one of those hacks that they don't talk about enough. Like it really does create a new experience for yourself. If you are doing this 21-day live challenge, you are creating a new experience for yourself and you're showing yourself that you can do it. You're showing yourself that I'm not this inconsistent, unreliable, undependable person. I'm somebody who can do what I say I'm going to do. I can be trusted with this vision. I can be trusted with this business, with this brand, with these people. And so that's what you're doing. That's literally what you're doing, like in real time. Everybody that's a part of this with me, y'all are doing this. You're showing yourself, nah, I can do this. I got this. And it's going to build your confidence. It's going to build your voice. It's going to build your self esteem. And it's going to attract the people that really need to hear you, that really need whatever it is that you have to offer. Okay. That's my little tangent again, y'all. I'm sorry. I know I go on them a lot. But also being unshy, getting unshy has helped me to attract the right people. I'm finding people every single day who can relate to me, who can use my help, who I can serve, who have been saying, "Man, I have never heard somebody say that before," or "I've never heard somebody break this down in that way before." Like I'm seeing that every day because I decided to use my voice and to show up and to share my story. The other thing is that I gain more clients because we need funds. Okay. Our vision needs funds. So thank God for that. And I found how to merge my gifts and talents within my brand, right? Like I found how these things come together and they work together to allow me to show up as myself and have fun and enjoy what I do and also build a business, like building a business being me, which is literally what my dream was since I was young. Like I knew that I wanted to have something that allowed me to do the things that I knew that I was capable of doing without having this limited job description. So that's what happened when I got in shy. That was my results. Now, the people's results, okay? The folks' results. I'm going to use Nakia again, is that she was able to develop an entire majorette dance company. A dance company, y'all. And she travels the country teaching teams majorette dance. And just 2 years ago, we was doing our workouts over Zoom. And now my girl trying to be worldwide. And that all came as a result of working through this process and bringing together the things that she loved and going for what she really wanted to do. And now she's built this business doing it. And it's still growing. Not to mention, I told y'all we was gonna come back to her because in the beginning of this live, I told y'all that she went from 160 1,000 followers in like less in 2 weeks. And I think I might be exaggerating with that. But in 2 weeks, having 169 followers for 2 years, right? And then 2 weeks got to 1K. And now today, she has over 40,000 followers using the same strategy that I showed her when we first met. And she's been able to add her twist to it and her spin and sprinkle her flavor on there. But the strategy the strategy and the way that she produces her content is still it has a staple to it. She has the things that are unique to her, the things that represent her brand, her company well, right? And it's something that she's able to produce consistently because of the way that she does it. And again, I'll have to show y'all her page in order for me to really break that down. But the goal here is for y'all to see that not only did it work for me, but it worked for somebody else. Okay. So, are y'all starting to see what this looks like for you? Now, if you're listening to me and you're saying, this sounds great, Jada, but I have never actually worked with clients before, I have never actually sold anything before, I'm going to challenge you on this. Okay. For one, you have personal results no matter what. You should always be your first testimonial, right? Not only do you have high mask. Not only do you have personal results, but you have people who have told you the impact that you have had on their life. Are there people who have been following what you do on your pages? Have you ever suggested anything to somebody? Have you ever hosted even like a meetup or a challenge? Cardi, I'm talking specifically to you because you have definitely done this before. Even though they were not your clients, you have people who have told you your challenge helped me to get up and start working out, or it helped me to go out and find a trainer, or when you shared your story with me, that helped me to think about what I could be doing differently in order to get my fitness journey. You inspired me to start my fitness journey. You inspired me to buy this sports bra from this place. You know what I'm saying? I feel more confident in wearing my stomach out because I see you doing it. There's things that people have told you, they've explained the impact that you've had on them. And so these are the things that you got to take that because they're telling you this is how you help me. Now again, as you work through and you determine what you're selling, what is my business going to have, what are the things that I'm going to put out into the world so that I can monetize that and build my business. But this is the kind of stuff where it's like you're already working and moving in this, and you already have people who have been impacted by what you put out into the world. When I started, y'all, when I first got started, especially when it came to styling, I felt like I was really scared. I was really scared. Oh my gosh. And I was scared because I was worried that I wasn't really able to help anybody. Like I wasn't sure that I could really style anybody. And so the thing that helped me to feel more confident in myself is that as I started to put out content and showing people how to style their clothes, showing them different ways. I used to do like these fashion tutorials, these style tutorials, and I would show people how to style their clothes different ways. There would be people who would like comment on the videos and they would tell me, "Hey, I tried this out and it helped me." Or I saw the list that you put out on an outfit to wear and I tried that outfit out and I really liked it. Or the first video that I had that went viral, right? The one that I told y'all about yesterday, that video was like proof of that was like social proof because it was a duet. So I was giving style suggestions for moms and I was showing them how to put clothes together that didn't take a long time, right? Like the reason why that's so important is because you can help people while you are still growing, okay? There may be certain areas that you can't help them in just yet, but what I am saying is that there are things that you can learn. There's things you've already learned, there's things you've already overcome that you can speak on and that you can share that will show that you know what you're talking about as you grow and learn even more, as you get certain credentials or certain experience, right? And that's the thing that's important for you to know, to understand now so that you can start to share and tell your story and build your community. Because the thing that happens for a lot of us is that we build the things before we have the community. We create the products, we create the services before we even have people to tell it to, right? And so when we don't invest in building a community even before we have that product, before we have that service, or even before we have it solidified, but like when you bring people in on the process of you growing in that, then that allows you to have people who are ready to support and be a part of whatever it is that you do because they already know you because you've already been sharing and telling your story. And it's like marketing before you have the product, almost like when people do pre sales. We over here spending money on stuff that we ain't gonna have for months. Like them pre-sale is I'll be having mixed feelings about pre-sales, but it's the same concept. Like you get excited about the thing before it is even exists yet, before it's even there. So that's my last little tangent. Hopefully, y'all. Hopefully, we got two more steps to building our origin story. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I'm going to go to the next one. All right. So 13 is the achievement. Okay. So the achievement is what happened. What did you earn as a result of this? What are the things that you accomplished? What were you able to accomplish because of this? So for me, getting unshy, as we were talking about again, this is my origin story. Being shy, getting unshy, is that I've helped other brands to hone in on what their brands are. I've helped people to gain more visibility by being themselves. I've helped people to become more confident and show up on camera and overcome perfectionism. And I've built an engaged community. Okay. So those are the things that those are the achievements that I was able to see from going through this process. And that's the achievement that when people work with me, that's what they get. When people are connected to me, that's what they get. So for you, as you're thinking about this, what is the achievement? What have you seen people do as a result? Of what have they accomplished as a result of being with you, working with you, or being connected to you, right? Are people more encouraged? Are they more optimistic? Are they more confident? Are they more consistent? Are they more bold? Are they more direct? Do they have better boundaries? Are they more creative? Like, what are the things? What are the achievements? What have they attained from this? Now, if you are talking about this from a business perspective, this can also be the space where you talk about what people have been able to earn. If you've helped people to earn certain things with their business, if you help them to get certain numbers on their social media pages, if you're into social media, like these are the things where you really start to put down the statistics. Like, what are the stats? What are the stats? What have you been able to help people to achieve? What have they earned? What have they accomplished? Okay. So that is number 13. That one is pretty straightforward. We are on the final step of our origin story. Are y'all ready for it? The last step is the transformation. Okay. And the transformation is different than the achievement, mostly because the transformation is the thing that is like, how are you different now? Like we've talked about what you've been able to accomplish, we've talked about the results, but how are you different now? Like what has changed about you? What do you do differently than you did at the beginning of your origin story? All right? And so mine is that I understand who I serve now. And that's a big one for me because that has been the one where I've always felt like I knew who I wanted to help, but I wasn't bold about it. I wasn't bold about it. I was very scared to say, this is who I serve, this is who I help, because I didn't feel like I was qualified for it. I didn't feel like I was qualified to help people. I didn't feel like I was qualified to tell them what to do. I didn't feel like I was qualified to stand in my authority and say what I know to be true. I was afraid of it. And so the transformation is not only that I understand it, but that I can say it boldly. Like I can tell people that this is what I do. The next part to it is that I built a community that really rocks with me. Like y'all are some of my favorite people in the world. And I mean that for real. Y'all are some of the most creative, supportive, understanding, supportive. I said supportive because y'all really are supportive. Y'all just be letting me do stuff, and I love y'all for it. But y'all are, you really believe in what it is that I'm doing. Everybody that is connected to me, especially the people who like have stuck with me for a while. Like I don't have people who are only after me for one thing. I don't have people who don't care what happens to me, who don't check in with me, who don't want to see me win. Like I got people who really rock with me. Okay. And the last thing is that I have a brand that allows me to create content that I love. Like I really genuinely, y'all, I love making content. Like if I could just make content all day and it not be connected to an income, I would do it. Like, I just love making content. I love talking. I love creating. I love video. I just love it. It's just fun to me. It just really excites me. And so I'm able to do what I love doing for a living. And it's just dope to me that I get to make money doing it. That's the part that's still what? So that's the transformation for me. All right. And so the transformation for you might look different. You may have something that is not again connected to business necessarily, but how are you a different person than you were at the beginning of your origin story? Look at where you were at the beginning of your origin story and use that to tell you where you are now, because I can guarantee that you are not the same person that you were at the beginning of your origin story as you are now. I'm glad that I was able to share it with y'all and work through it and really translate it in a way, hopefully, that makes sense for you as a creator. Y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow.